If we've said it once, we've said it 100 times. Avoid picking up unaccompanied minors at all costs. There's simply too much that can go wrong. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim with another ride sharing video. Now, I'm going to try to do this story justice. I don't want to disrespect someone's child that may be in danger. Nevertheless, we've talked about Uber Teen and how it is unadvisable to put unaccompanied minors in your vehicle when engaging in ride sharing. There's just too much shit that can go wrong. Now, here is one of those cases likely for the driver. Comes to you from a story titled, Missing 14-Year-Old Girl Last Seen Leaving Home in Uber in Humble. Now, this is Humble, Texas, Harris County, down there around Houston. So this is not a PSA asking anybody to be on the lookout for the child, because most of the folks watching this video are not in the Houston, Texas area to begin with. But I want to do this story justice because there are a hell of a lot of lessons in it for us drivers, no matter where the hell you're driving at. So just to give you the PSA, we'll give the story justice and then we'll start discussing it. Here is what the Harris County PD or sheriffs or whatever the hell they are down there, here is what they released. Missing juvenile, please share. 14-year-old Kiara Conaway is missing and was last seen leaving her home in the Foxwood subdivision in a vehicle over 24 hours ago. If you have any information regarding her whereabouts, please contact our dispatch or local law enforcement. Now, you see the picture. There's no chance of mistaking this young girl for an adult. This is a perfect example of something that should not be in your vehicle without an adult. There's a host of other things that can go wrong, like children, leaving messes in your vehicle and things like that. It's just not a smart idea to pick up an unaccompanied minor. Now, in this case, with a missing child, here's another saga of drama for drivers. You think the police ain't all over this driver? Uber drivers get involved in criminal shit all the time. I got a story I'm about to cover now of an Uber driver that raped somebody. So it does happen. Nevertheless, in this case, this driver is going to constantly be interviewed by police, have his entire life torn apart until they figure out what happened to this child. You're the last one that was with a 14-year-old girl. So you may get random interviews from police. All of a sudden, they're showing up to your house or whatever the case may be. Perhaps somebody's following you that shouldn't be. Just drama that you don't need in your life. Being the last one to be seen with a 14-year-old kid. Never should have picked this child up to begin with. And I would advise all of you folks, I don't give a damn how good the fare looks. If the individual is not an adult and you can tell they're not an adult, don't put them in your fucking car. Because if something goes wrong, you're the adult, they're the child, and that's how it's going to go down. Even if the person starts cussing you out, maybe swinging at you, talking shit to you, messing up your vehicle, you're the adult, they're the child, they're going to get the sympathy no matter what takes place. So avoid doing this. Just avoid picking up children if they do not have adults in their vehicle. One simple solution, don't take trips from schools. Don't take trips from schools. A lot of, particularly high school teens, now that they got this Uber teen shit where the teenager can request a ride without the adult being involved, when you know school is getting out in your area, any trips you see where it shows you're picking up someone from a school, it could be a teacher, could be a parent, but there are plenty other trips out there. Don't fuck with schools. It's as simple as that. Any type of event where you know minors are likely to be around, traveling to and from the event on their own, avoid taking trips that are taking you to that location. It's as simple as that. Just like when we suggest do not take hospital patients in your vehicle, we talked about things that can go wrong there. Don't take trips that involve you going to a hospital. That reduces your chances. Now, understand also, until an individual is in your vehicle, you can decline the trip, period. You can make up an excuse later why you decline that shit. You know, my engine light came on. You know, I had to go suddenly pick up my child from daycare. Whatever excuse you want to fill in the blanks. You don't have to be legitimate and tell somebody why you declined the trip. So if you're going to pick up someone and when you arrive, you see a bunch of kids standing by the curb, no adults with them, decline the trip and drive off. It's as simple as that. Nobody has to know why you declined the trip. Don't put kids in your vehicle. Now, in this case, like I said, I want to do it justice. I don't want to disrespect somebody's child. But understand, kids do run away all the time, which is why in the article it states this person has been missing for over 24 hours. A lot of times, the authorities, when a child is reported missing, will suggest it could be a runaway. So they like to wait a little bit of time. In this case, 24 hours has elapsed. So that doesn't mean it still cannot be a runaway. But at the end of the day, this driver, as of now, was officially the last person to be seen with this child alive. If that child turns up harmed or, God forbid, deceased, who the hell you think is going to get all of the grief until the case is solved? I don't care if that driver is 100% innocent. His life is going to suck until they solve that case. You can avoid the potential of this happening to you by not taking children. Do you get a lot of children in your market? I'd like to know in the comment section. I do regularly get trips that involve going to schools. As I stated before, I only drive part-time. I have a day job. So I may only drive 2 or 3 hours at the end of work during the weekdays. And that involves children getting out of schools. So I do regularly get trips that pop up and it's the school address. I don't go to them. I don't deal with it. But what say you in your market? Do you regularly get trips from teens or even younger, which is outright ridiculous, getting in your vehicle unaccompanied? I had one case before that went okay, but I certainly looked back and was like, I shouldn't have done that, where I went to pick up a passenger. The father came to the car with 2 children. I think the oldest was maybe 12, and stated, my weekend's over. You're taking it back to their mom's house, drive safe, and put these 2 young children in my car, maybe 9 and 12. And I actually did complete the trip. I looked back on it and thought how awful that was for me to do that. And another aspect of this, insurance. If something happens and you're involved in an accident, Uber's policy talks about children being in the vehicle, and it's kind of hazy as opposed to how they run Uber Team. So understand, if an unaccompanied minor is in your vehicle and you get in a car accident and they're injured, it's a good chance the insurance companies may play games and not cover it, suggesting that the policy says you don't supposed to have unaccompanied minors in here. So understand, there's a hell of a lot of avenues you can go down with children, and none of them are good. Keep kids out your car. It's your boy Tim. As always, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.